who has joined us today. Welcome you, sir. It is indeed a privilege to introduce the conference theme amidst of such a wonderful gathering on the occasion of International Conference on Mental Health, a Holistic Approach. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. The MSSW has remarkably made huge difference in many lives by imparting value-based education with the right kind of attitude and service to the society for the past 70 years. The Department of Psychology evolved over the 2 decades and with a high demand ratio and as well as quality education in the field of psychology. The department runs undergraduation, post-graduation and MPhil in psychology, and we regularly conduct academics and co-curricular activities to enrich our students' knowledge and skill sets. We offer PG with specializations in counseling psychology and family counseling. As part of Platinum Jubilee Year celebrations, the Department of Psychology has come up with the international conference, a holistic approach, a mental health, a holistic approach, which is a very important, pertinent topic for all of us. And we are covering across the lifespan and across the settings, and these 10 sub-themes are evident for that. The speakers from the foreign countries are attending online and few represents from the other states too. The eminent experts are lined up with trending topics and recent developments in the field of psychology to enhance the knowledge of the students gathered over here. More than 25 renowned speakers are going to throw light on versatile topics, as it's going to be a knowledge and competence fruit salad for all the budding professionals sitting over here. The participants are registered all over the country and few from abroad. The International Conference on Mental Health and Holistic Approach 2023 will be a fruitful learning experience and provide a common platform for all the experts, professionals, students, scholars working in the respective fields, and we will definitely update with the recent evidence-based practices and interventions to promote prevention and also cure. With this note, I hope and wish a grand success to the entire team and meeting with your expectations of the participants. Thank you so much.
The film made by Dr. Gauri, the doctor said, all of us are mental patients in a small way or a big way. The levels only vary. In fact, in the same call, a couple of months back, I happened to attend a seminar more or less on the same thing on mental health, which really made me doubt whether I am a potential victim. Because there also the theme was, all of you are in one way or other. In certain days you feel a little not up to the mark, but then there is nothing that a strong cup of coffee can't fix. But then they say, neurotics are the people who build castles in the air. Psychotics are the people who live in those houses. And psychiatrists are the people who collect the rent. So this is a gathering of psychologists, psychiatrists, and potential psychiatrists and psychologists. That's why I said I need to take a bail, an advance bail. See, some time back, recently, a rather shocking remark came to my attention. It says that electricity is the cause of ill health. My God, I thought it was a great invention touching all aspects of our daily life, whether it be transportation, whether it be communication, whether it be even cooking, all aspects. But then the argument goes that till electricity was introduced, poor Thomas Alva Edison, everything was okay, because our body has a rhythm called circadian rhythm. It's nothing but biological rhythm. That is, come Daras, welcome. Please sit down. It says that, in fact, 95% of the living things flora, fauna, when all the living things wake up with the sun and go to sleep when the sun sets. But once the electricity came into play, our working hours increased, or rather our waking hours increased, or your resting hours or the sleeping hours got lesser and lesser. As a result of which, your systems got some sort of an imbalance. So it is a very interesting, rather surprising thought. Then again, see, in the olden days, health meant only physical health. Mental health is something which came up late. Of course, you know the history more than I do. I have only a passing, so I have come only up to the positive psychology of Martin Seligman. There are miles to go even after that. The point is that I don't want to take much of your time because Dr. Gauri is going to speak to you he is an expert, as it was shown in the video. And other experts are to follow, online and offline. The point is that this mental depression, as we call it, I am just reminded of a sentence by Oscar Wilde. He said, with music, flowers, the moon and the books, who could be unhappy? It's a very nice thought. I mean, for us who are not bothered about the levels of whether it is depression, deep depression, schizophrenia, or bipolar, or whatever. You know, it's everybody goes through these stages of feeling up. It's nothing like the one problem which is that for the last decade, I had occasion to be associated with what we call Gen Z. That is the people who are 18 to 24 or 16 to 22, whatever you call it. Why are they going through a level of depression unlike the earlier generation? There are some reasons which are attributed. One is the failed parental techniques that we use. You tell the child that you can do anything. I mean, you give him the impression that there is nothing that he cannot get or she cannot get. But when it comes to actual life, there is a chasm, there is a deep gap between what you expect and what you get. And you are not equipped to deal with that situation. Because when you are depressed, usually in our generation, we turn to people. But here, you turn to a device. And you send a text and you get a reply, you are happy. So that is a dose of dopamine. Dopamine is usually addictive. And when you don't get the dopamine, what you get, you feel a little depressed. So that is one thing. And there are other reasons also, like technology or impatience. See, the current generation, I feel, is very impatient. In our generation, of course, grew up. But look at the current generation. Your books, your movies, your dress, your food, your clothing, even your relationships is only a click away. So that also impacts your happiness. These are only general observations. I don't want to take much of your time on this. And I'm very happy to be here, and I hope, as the doctor and Dr. Gauri's movie said, and as some of the experts are going to tell me that I am sick, I won't walk out of this, but at the same time I should get a healthy, any participant should get a healthy perspective on what exactly is the magnitude of the problem that we are facing with the current generation, and how do we deal with it. I hope this will throw up ideas, and you will be able to feel richer. These experiences may enrich you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
First generation graduate who studied with Tamil as his medium of instruction at the primary and secondary levels of schooling. Switching over to an English medium of instruction at PUC in Arul Andavar College, Karumathur, Madurai district, Dr. Gauri meticulously worked his way into the Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai for an undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering. Having obtained a BE in high first class there, he took up a job as assembly production engineer with the reputed two-wheeler manufacturers Enfield India Limited, and later served in Tamil Nadu State Transport Corporation as production manager. This hands-on industrial experience motivated him to pursue MTech in production engineering in IIT Madras, from where he also received his PhD in precision machining of plasma sprayed ceramic coatings. He stood first in his PG studies in IIT Madras. Dr. Gauri embarked on his illustrious academic journey at the Mechanical Engineering Department of the Karnataka Regional Engineering College as a lecturer and moved on to become an assistant professor. From the year 2000, Dr. Gauri served as professor in the Manufacturing Engineering Department of the College of Engineering, Anna University, Chennai. He is the founder, head of this department, and had served as the department's head for 2 terms and as a mechanical engineering faculty chairman for 1 term. His dynamic leadership and had a defining impact on the manufacturing engineering department, which scaled new heights under his vision and established advanced manufacturing engineering laboratory with advanced machine tools. He was entrusted with the responsibility of serving as the registrar of Anna University of Technology, Chennai, for his adept administrative skills and meticulous and industrious talents. He was assigned many such academic and administrative responsibilities. He was also the station manager and director of Anna Community Radio, known as Anna FM 90.4 MHz, the first community radio of the country. Some of his short films and videos, documentaries were awarded by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, New Delhi. Among the many accolades that Dr. Gauri has received, the Outstanding Academic Award presented to him by the Indian Society for Technical Education, MHRD Government of India in 2011 needs a special mention. His 5 books on mechanical engineering and drawing graphics and 94 research papers are a testimony to his research expertise. He is the life member of SCAR, Chennai, volunteer in Adyar Cancer Hospital and Banyan, home for mentally challenged orphans in Chennai. He is at present heading the 2nd oldest Indian university, the 163-year-old University of Madras, as its Vice Chancellor. During his tenure, he has introduced new elective subjects known as social justice, the first time in the South Indian University, introduced elective subjects Tirukural for professional ethics. Abstracts of PhD thesis should be in Tamil in minimum of 10 pages. Supernumeric free seats for transgenders in PG and UG students. New certificate and diploma online courses have been instituted in the Institute of Distance Education, and the differently abled students are exempted to pay the fee towards the issue of person studied Tamil medium certificate for the purpose of employment. With all these credentials, I once again take this pride to welcome and honor our Vice Chancellor for the International Conference on Mental Health, a Holistic Approach. Welcome you, sir. Thank you.
From him, I hail from a small village as I was introduced from Maramangalam. And really, I'm happy to meet again Mr. K. Matthew, our IAS officer, the chairman of MADRAS Social Work. Already have met him, and the dean of the school of social work. The other special guest who is going to participate to come over here on online mode, Dr. Oktakenews, faculty of education from the Barcelona University, and faculty members and student friends in press and media. The topic itself is very important, and it shows how a holistic approach is required for keeping the mental health to the required. I'm very happy that the film was screened, which I produced about 8 years ago. Normally I don't suggest to screen the movie. I asked them which hall you are going to organize this program, whether there is any video display like that. They said that there is a latest P3 LED system is here, and there is a very compact theatre type auditorium. And I felt that's the best suited for this. And I said, yes, that can be screened for the benefit of the young students like you. And this was produced by me. I was a productor. When I was head of the department, when I was the director of Educational Multimedia Access Center, you may know that there are 21 Educational Multimedia Access Centers in the country, funded by UGC as a center of UGC, Government of India, 21. One such is in Anna University. Basically, I'm a mechanical manufacturing engineer, and during the 2 term of my headship in the manufacturing department, I came across an experience of a boy student. One day the parents came and asked me, sir, my son, the boy came from Salem, you know very well. To enter into the College of Engineering Guindy and our university, the students should have scored very high marks in So the boy had scored very good marks, that's why he would come, he could join the manufacturing department for BE, Bachelor of Engineering. But suddenly something happened, he is unable to concentrate the studies. We had gone to all the temples, places, and we had given our local doctors, they gave some sleeping dose. I don't know what happened. We give some more days leave. Okay, gave him, then again he came back. Meantime, I talked with the friends. He's a hostler. I talked to his classmates. What is he? How is he? Any bad habits? He said, nothing, sir. He is very cool guy. He is very soft spoken. No bad habits. But sometimes you talk on his own. But no the problem like that. He wants to be alone like this. Then after his return from Salem, we asked him, he was a bit hesitating to talk to me as a head of the department. He said, think of me as a brother or uncle, you tell me. Then he said, suddenly somebody will talk to me. Yes. I calmed down out of this one. When I stand in front of the mirror phone, I don't see my image, some other image. It's really shocked. How it happens? Then I take medicine, but I'm sleeping, but there is a Dr. Rangarajan, you know very well, he's a very good psychiatrist here. My good friend, I suggested him to go. Then he said, Bro said this is very common, you have found out the initial stage. So he went, he told that it's a type of schizophrenia. Then when he came to know that what is schizophrenia, what is depression, then he gave the medication. Continuously 3 months the boy underwent the medication. Slowly cleared all the dear subject, but the doctor cautioned him now medicine should not be stopped. He took all the medicines and he cleared the arrears, everything, he got a good job. The family, the parents came with a lot of fruits and everything, so the doctor is gone, the boy has taken the medicine. But when I became the educational media director, that was in my mind to take, how to convey the message to the community. A boy was sick and he was taking medicine, treated well, that became a message. But it cannot be an interesting way, so using my own interesting way, I developed the screenplay and everything. Instead of the boy, I transferred the patient to a girl. The girl is our own student in the media science, so we have seen in YouTube. She is a singer, Aparna, and the boy is a Vignesh. She was a student. Like there are own students, our own camera facilities to produce this. And some comedy should be there, something shouldn't be so serious. So I think there is a dialogue, you would have seen that. If you talk to God, you are a devotee. If God talks to you, God is also running. How I got this? Parasakti no Param. Tamil Kalaigar இருந்தார். அது ஒரு dialogue வரும். Parasakti என்றைக்கடா பேசினா. So like that was in my mind that I introduced one. So when this was screened in Calcutta Film Festival, huge applause. They asked me a lot of things like this. We got a Ministry of Information Broadcasting Award also like this. So what I want to say is, this is the policy. You might have seen that. The doctor gives a medicine, but your love and care how we treat the patient, that is important. That is a holistic approach. Because today, when we are sick, I have a headache, I go to the medical shop and buy some medicine, Dolo, 650 like that only. That is a, not just selling medicine in the pharmacy, is that Dolo 650. I'm not a fraud ambassador for Dolo, please don't understand. So yeah, or fever means you go some paracetamol, Panadol like this. But if you go, nobody will go and mentally ill and depression. The medical fellow, the pharmacy will not sell you the medicine. You will ask where is the prescription. Now, one good thing our pharmacists are doing, they won't give any medicine for this. And we are also not openly go and say, I am mentally ill like this. Because something at top like that, something like that we feel, that we outwardly we don't speak at all. Health, the real health is the physical health, the mental health, and the social health. When the three are in good healthy condition, we are in a happy day. And the physical health, we take it, and mental health is not openly said, but that attitude should come. People should speak about this. This is not a insult or anything like this. This is also common. Just like you are a headache, mental health is also, that's why it's good. Everyone has, rightly chairman said, everyone has, you would have seen the movie Guna, long back, Kamal Ulana in Solvar, like that. I don't say in that way, but everyone has some sort of defunctions or defects. No 100% perfection is possible. So some amount of deviation, some amount of imperfection is there. One way it is good, it should be. If no one has a desire, no one has this type of imperfection, then all of us would have been under Himalayas. Most developments would have taken place. See, you see this LED display. About 20 years ago, we never thought. There was only a LED machine was there. But now this is a screen. Nobody uses that, just like it is feeding with this. So like that, lot of technology developments and so many things happen because of the desire what we have. But everything should be to a certain level. So for that, the mind, the brain should be proper. 1.2 or 1.3 kilogram mass, the brain in a hemispherical cerebellum is doing all magics. More than 100 billion neurons are activating, interconnective network is there. Interconnectivity is there. If the interconnectivity is malfunctioning or defect, then the problem appears. So how to have it? So continuous research is being done, and people say there should be a good food. You should not have a depression. If the depression lasts for more than 2 weeks, then you should go for a medical treatment. For example, I lose my mobile phone. Somewhere I kept it, immediately lost. Because in the mobile phone, without that mobile phone we can't go. We lost the mobile phone, suddenly we feel something important lost. And if you don't get the phone until it is there, until otherwise you get it or some other new phone is there. But that's depression. That is only by this outside. That is social. The psychological problems are with the biochemistry like that, psychochemistry in the brain. And for the neurotransmitters, what we fail is the dopamine, serotonin or oxytocin or endorphins or melatonin. When these are not in proper forms or proper quantum, then the problems are there. But other thing is a psychological, what we think about ourselves during reading like this. That is also causes. The next one is the social factors outward. I lose my phone, then I become ill. So that's the external factor has imposed. Once you get a phone, it becomes normal. So that is not a depression. And the depression is because of the chemistry, the electroactuators, the transmitters have some problem, then we need some medication. But except that, no medication is required. There are other type of practices, going for regular yoga, exercise, good food, taking rest, good sleep, like that. That people say today, talk about brain cleaning. That's called detox. Today people say about detox, brain detox. How to have the brain detox, how to do that. The brain detox, one simple thing, reduce the intake of food, they say. If at all, take the good food. That's called intermittent fasting. You should go for the intermittent fasting. Either the same day, one food is a full food, full to the stomach, other one will last at least, or once in 2 days, or once in a week, things like that. This intermittent fasting. The next one, other type of smoking, liquor, that should not be there. And next one, love and care, and go for exercise. So in this ways, the holistic approach for the mental health can be achieved. And people talk about where is the mind, whether the brain is the mind. Brain is the seat of mind, because the brain does a lot of functions, and the functions are nothing but mind. மனம் சிந்தனையில் வருகின்ற பொழுது செயலாக்கம் காட்டுகிறது. So the functions, the emotive functions, I become happy, I become sorrow, I become sad, anger. So these are the emotive functions of the brain. The next is the cognitive skill functions, just like thinking or processing, planning, writing. So these are the cognitive. Another one is aesthetic functions, like segregating or selecting or parting the ugly from the beauty, bad from the good. So like that, these are these other functions, and these are all functions are there. Then we say that mind is working. The mind is nothing but is functioning. So in order to have a proper mind, as I said, the detox should be there, and good exercise, good practice, medication, and we should openly discuss. So this is not talking like this. So openly discuss about this and how to, just like your headache, this is also a type of a problem like that, openly say. And because a person is visually challenged people, the society shows great mercy on them. If it is a physically challenged, really is good. If it is other type of disabilities, they consider, yes, this person should be given proper treatment, they hug and give all support. But there are two types of challenges which the society is still not giving importance. One is genetically challenged, we say transgenders. That's why I produced a sort of audio documentary in the year 2016, binary community audio documentary, and we got the first prize, not for the purpose of getting the prize, because I always look at the lower section of the society, because I am from a village, as you said, from Ramamangalam. Until my 5th standard, I didn't know English. Only ABCD until my 5th standard. The English teacher does not come, or the bus by which he comes from Paramakudi to Ramamangalam got punctured, will be very happy. On the cycle, I don't know what he did. Until 5th standard, this English was beyond imagination. 1, 2, 3. There was another reason also. Anybody in my name here? The girls, Gauri. Yeah, nobody is there. Good. My actual name is Gauri Muttu Vadaganatha Dureshingam. I came from freedom fighter family. The first Indian woman who fought for freedom is, who is the first Indian woman fought for freedom? Very good. Vedanachya. From my place. No, I am from that place. And her husband is Muthu Vadaganatha. So we are from that group. So my name was given as Gauri Muthu Vadaganatha. Because Gauri Vallabha Rajeshwari is the family goddess. Before they go for fight or war, everything they pray and go. That's the place where the Koili finally became the first human born. And the name is like that. My name is actually Durai Singham. But nobody called Durai, nobody called Singham. Singham 1, 2, 3 made up the, I would have been happy if I given. So it is given as, everyone called small village, oh what a Gauri like that. So it becomes a Gauri only like this. So we are from the small village, everyone we treated equal, even people. So that is always my mind. So I should do something. That's why I produced this about the transgenders. Even I produced another short film, we got an award. That called Sruti Vedam, that I didn't screen that I given. That is about the female sex workers. That's the first movie. It became bigger. The images you ask, how could a Boli have produced such a film like this? So how the society is treating, what is the cause, what we should do like this. So everyone is a human being. So the two things people are not concerned. One is the genetically challenged, that is transgenders. The other one is this psychology problems, who are this challenging, this way, psychologically challenged. So the psychologically challenged people should be given importance, love and care along with the medicine. I am sure that this today's 3 days conference will focus on all these aspects about the holistic approach. I am really very interested to see that how to facing the discrimination, education, intercultural competence. That's why I introduced a new subject, Samuga Needi, social justice, or became a chancellor of that maybe an elective in UG classes. And another interesting thing is here, this cancer, emerging need for cancer care, psycho-oncology. That is important. Because I am the member of SCAR as well as the Adaya Cancer Institute. People ask, why are you showing interest in this? I said, the cancer patient are living counting the days. And these psycho patients are living without knowing how to count the days. So these two people should be given care. That's why I became a member of this. So I'm sure that this wonderful Madras School of Social Work will do greater service to this mental health. And I'm sure that you will put some counseling centers here in order to serve all the affiliated college students who come voluntarily, and whatever the help the University of Madras requires, we will do that. I'm very happy that our Commissioner of Rural Development, Daras Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum sir, really you will be helpful to us, and we will work together for the betterment of society. Thank you very much.
Government of Tamil Nadu, a native of Malappuram district in Kerala, and he belongs to the 2005 batch of IAS. Dr. Daris Ahmed completed his graduation in medicine from Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, and did his Master of Science in Health Policy Planning and Financing at London School of Economics and Political Science and London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. In the Indian Administrative Services, Dr. Daris Ahmed has played various roles. He got trained as Assistant Collector, Madurai District, and served as Sub-Collector, Sivaganga District, Additional Collector Development, Madurai, Additional Collector Development, Krishnagiri, Joint Commissioner, Commercial Tax, Chennai, Deputy Commissioner, Works, Chennai, District Collector, Perambalur. He was also the Commissioner for Maternal and Child Health, Commissioner for Trauma Care, and Mission Director, National Health Mission, and Executive Director, Guidance, Tamil Nadu. Dr. Daris Ahmed's distinguished work in different capacities have been recognized, and he is the recipient of several awards, both from the Government of India and Government of Tamil Nadu. He was awarded Best Performance in Disposal of CM Cell Petitions in the year 2011 and 2012, Best Performance as District Collector in Health and Family Welfare in the year 2011 and 2012. He was the Best Collector in Implementing Schemes for Differently Abled Sector in 2012, Successful Implementation of E-Governance Initiatives in 2012, Best Practices Award in 2013 for Implementation of Quality Delivery Systems Ensuring Good Governance, Best Practices Award in 2018 for the implementation of Tamil Nadu Accident and Emergency Care, and recognition from State of Tamil Nadu for efforts made towards reduction in maternal mortality ratio as per sample registration system in 2016. He is also the recipient of the National Award for highest population based on NCD screening done in 2012-2013, and the National Award for third highest number of wellness sessions conducted at HWC in 2021. It's our privilege to have you with us on this memorable occasion, sir.
Pleasure to speak to youngsters and mental health professionals. And at this occasion, I was thinking why I was being called. I thought maybe my experience as a Mission Director, National Health Mission. Here, I would like to just share my thoughts regarding holistic approach towards mental health, and from my experience, anecdotal experience. So the Vice Chancellor sir was also sharing this anecdote. So I'll start with one of my experiences as Devakote sub-collector. Around 11 o'clock, I was traveling from the road from Devakote to Karakuti, and I saw a woman, middle-aged woman, in a yellow sari walking in the road in the night. So 11 o'clock, it's a very unusual sight. Anybody has travelled from Karakuti to Devakote will know it's a very lonely road. Then I stopped. Then as a young sub-collectors, we are all full of josh to change the world. So So we just came out. Then I started approaching her. Then she was brandishing something sharp. Then my PC said, the feather said, "No sir, don't go near me." I was very surprised what's happening. I had no clue what's happening. Then again, when I went near her, I saw that she had a sharp object with her. And she started again asking, shooing me away. Then the feather said, "Sir, you are new to this place, you don't understand what it is." Then he said, "Sir, in Rameshwaram, this road goes straight to Rameshwaram, and there are different pilgrims which come and drop mentally ill people there, and they leave, and these people start walking back in the road towards the place they came from." So it was a very big new thing for me. It was my first introduction to. As a doctor, I have seen inpatients in psychiatry, like OP, but never in the road, and this is my first experience of wandering mentally ill patient. So after that, then we had to follow the Mental Health Act. Then all of the police station have a reception order, magistrate. Now it has become far more easier for a wandering mentally ill. So I was sharing this experience when I was studying LSHTM, Annual School of Hygiene and Tropical Health. Then a professor there said, "See, you understand, you are from Chennai." I said, "Yes. We have the best institutions, one of the best institutions which deal with mental health." The professor was talking about SCARF, as I was saying, and talking about Banyan, talking about Sneha, and saying that so many excellent institutions are functioning in Chennai. So you didn't have any exposure. I said no. Then later, as a mission director, National Health Mission, I had the privilege of working with all these institutions at different capacities. So what I would like to explain what has been the policy, what has been our state's role in mental health, how Tamil Nadu has approached this issue. So you know, Tamil Nadu has one of the first states to have district mental health program in every district. If you see DMHP, many of you may be seeing the structure of DMHP. There is a district psychiatrist. There was a district psychiatrist who, there is many, for example, they have to certify. There is a legal requirement. For example, as a collector, during Monday grievance day, we had this committee sitting and giving different types of certificates. Our district psychiatrist used to sit because there are many aspects, from extra time given for a child who is writing 10th or 12th exam, to certificates, different types of different level certificates. So a district psychiatrist has a legal role, a regulatory role, and then he has a role of giving different treatment modules. So Tamil Nadu is one of the first states again to have a satellite psychiatrist, means a psychiatrist who will go around and conduct clinics in primary health centers. So you have to understand there is the psychiatry department of medical colleges which does inpatient care and OP care. Then the community aspect of mental health is done by district mental health program. I hope some of you study DMHP in deeper. It's a nascent program. It is not really, and the satellite psychiatrist conducts an OP in blocks so that the block PHC doctor understands different aspects of conducting a mental health OP. See, the most important aspect is that mental health, to really be successful, has to be ingrained into the public health system, primary care system. You cannot keep mental health outside the primary care system. Like how you take care of the maternal and child health program. The antenatal care is done by the functionary, which is village health nurse. She is actually a nurse, a paramedic, and only when there is a high risk referral, then only the gynecologist or the first referral will take care in a mental health in a maternal and child health issues. Similarly, mental health, unless until we have a very strong primary care system where we have our doctors, the primary care doctors, are able to identify and treat. Because all the mental health drugs, I'm talking about the policy aspects, the holistic view, social, other aspects are there. I will talk from the governmental view. Most of the mental health drugs are very cheap. It's easily available. There is no costlier drugs anywhere. So putting them, and we used to see that how much intent is placed for every PHC about mental health drugs. See, unless until you do it at the lowest level, at the primary health center level, we will not be able to tackle the issue. See, if you look at numbers, I will tell you one number, which is suicides, okay, which is available in State Crime Record Bureau. Can anybody guess which is the biggest killer, road traffic or suicides in Tamil Nadu? Road traffic accidents or suicides? Okay. See, we have crossed almost 20,000 suicides. In the sense that 20,000. And you see that for every successful suicide, how many attempts are there? Any data any of you have? Anybody done this? For every successful suicide, how many unsuccessful attempts are there? Any idea? Something around 20. If I am not mistaken, it was 20. 20. Average I get 20. So imagine that every day we had a data on, we have our 78 emergency care rooms in network. You would have seen Tamil Nadu Accident and Emergency Initiative have a network of 78 emergency rooms. So this emergency rooms is where the suicide victim is first booked. So we have a data. We used to get 400 to 500 attempts every day. And that is also again tip of the iceberg, because if you say that 20,000 attempts, 20,000 successful suicides into 20, how many attempts are there? So you have to understand that, okay, and usually to second attempt and above, many doesn't get successful in the first attempt. Successful in a very, you cannot say that success in that term, but what they attempt to. So how do you counsel the unsuccessful attempt? How do you, suicide prevention strategies, any nation, no country in the world is able to really tackle this issue. So I'm just asking you, some of you may doing PhD, some of you doing thesis. You please concentrate on different, like if you look at the SNEHA strategy of pesticide lockers, how do you like lock up the pesticides and reduce the suicide, access to pesticides and reduce the suicide. So there are different attempts, counseling the already attempted people, and if they are not having ideation for another 18 months, then they are out of that danger zone. So suicide is alone will show the extent of the problem which we have in the sense that how do we tackle this issue. And all of you, when you look at the data and try to, it's very dispersed in the sense that the pesticide suicide rates are very high in horticulture intensive villages. For example, if you can Google and see the SNEHA experiment with pesticide locker in Katumannar, you will understand what I am trying to say. That different attempts and different types of strategies has been adopted. And counseling, Tamil Nadu as a state has that counseling of people who have survived suicide from emergency rooms. If you see 104, any of you can see that there is a DMS compound, there is an 108 ambulance network. You can walk in and see 104 counseling center and how they counsel the people who have survived attempts. So this has been one strategy regarding suicide prevention. So similarly, I talked about DMHP. Then wandering mentally ill, if you see emergency care and recovery centers. Okay, there are different models available. Banyan also has and different, and then home again back. So there are different strategies state as adopted. But again, one of the most critical bottleneck is professionals who can really manage the system. People like you who are going to be in the forefront. And I am very happy to see that youngsters are really taking up this because this is one of the most important aspects of mental health is the human resource. People who can counsel us, people who can really support. Because medical aspects, psychiatry is one part, then counseling, psychological and other aspects is equally critical. So, for example, clinical psychologists and counselors. So you can see that the whole spectrum of human resource in mental health is also HRH, human resource in health, especially in mental health, is a critical bottleneck. And I hope that Madras Institute of Social Science really will have more regional level institutes. I would like to have more regional level institutes, because when you see that we need counseling, you can visit any of the emergency care and recovery centers. You will understand that counseling support and the availability of trained counselors is a very important point. I have not even touched the adolescent Rashtriya Bal Shakti Karyagram, RBSK, you know, school health, and Rashtriya Kishori Shakti Karyagram, adolescent health. That is again a big ocean. For example, anybody knows stat scoring? Okay. How do you see that? How do you predict in the sense in youngsters and adolescents? What are the different types of in the sense that, and I also CBT also, cognitive behavioral therapy also part of this. So I would really love to 2 days sit and attend this since I'm rural developments, I may not be really suited for this now as of now. But that's a pleasure of this service that you can go from one department to another. But in rural development, I also see the potential of mental health in rural areas. How do you cope with this? And as I said, adolescent mental health, in wandering mental illness, then district mental health program, then school health program. So connecting the dots, state as policy has been to connect different, and home again, in the sense that if you see like people who are already treated and who is now not requiring inpatient care, how do you bring them back to the society? And there are different models available, in the sense that the Banyan Home Again program is also there. So the whole gamut of different policy measures have taken, and it's all now slowly trying to put things in place. And it's not an easy journey, and people like you have a very critical role. And conferences like this has also, which discuss cutting edge issues and trying to bring in different experiments. For example, CBT I was seeing, it was there, then different gender issues. It's very critical in our journey to improve the holistic aspects of mental health. And I was just touching different aspects from my experience as in NHS. But again, when you look at this, look at the new Mental Health Act, for example, we have advanced directive, in the sense that the administrative aspects are also very critical. Anybody understand advanced directive in the new Mental Health Act? I hope the word is correct. Okay. If I think that I may be losing it, then I will have to empower somebody to take over decisions on my behalf. Right? So these are the cutting edge, extreme, in the sense that the more forward-looking things in our mental health. But implementation aspects are also requires more thinking, more civil society, and people like you coming together and putting things in place. And the journey is there. There are many disparate things there. You have to put together everything and to have a very strong holistic mental health system within in our health system framework and in our social systems. And for example, if you look at maternal and child health, how it has been put. Now it has got a very systematic thing in place. Similarly, mental health also requires, because why did MCH, maternal and child health, got so much attention? It was part of the MDG goals, Millennium Development Goals. That has been where the investment and resources came, and it has put in place a very systematic approach to maternal and child health. Similarly, mental health also, SDG, is part of the Sustainable Development Goals. So I think that by another, we should be able to have a system in place. And the problem with the system is it's not easily measurable, and there are only few indicators we can easily measure this, and our capacity to capture also is not very well developed. For example, an antenatal care mother, we have 1 million deliveries almost, so we are able to capture the mother and their progress. I think I've already overshot the time. So having a proper system of measuring what is happening and seeing that where are the interventions, which are the levels of interventions required from children to adolescent to adult, then and how different parts of this puzzles are falling in place also critical. I hope some of you take this up as your further studies to understand and saying that how the system, administrative aspects of mental health. For example, there is something known as State Mental Health Authority, SMHA. Functioning of SMHA itself, you should take it as a and see that how it functions. These are all critical part of this whole complex system, and there is no simple answers to this. And the way I spoke, you would understand that I am touching different things, and because there is no if you ask me to speak on maternal and child health, I will speak with systematic, but mental health is very disparate, and things are slowly falling in place, and I hope you guys will really strengthen the mental health ecosystem and put it part of the health system approach, but as a strong part of the health system in place, and the holistic aspects of the family, social, economic, and other aspects of mental health also you are going to discuss. And I hope and I feel that this conference will have the desired post-pandemic. You understand that mental health has really had different dimensions, and new dimensions have been added, And I think that this conference will really help in throwing more light on this aspect. And with this, I will stop. Any questions you can please ask. I'll just, since I have had many discussions, if you have any questions in 1 minute, any of you want to ask anything. Okay, then thank you all.